Hello, 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 hello. All right, so thank you all for joining us on another live session for Sisters Talk TV. And again, this is our second live session doing this on YouTube. And of course, the review that we are doing today is for Housewives of Atlanta, season 13, episode 4.
Yay.
So we are going to be going live and just doing a live review on this episode 4. So my name is Lucy, and again, I am one half of Sisters Talk TV, and we have.
Hello, guys. My name is Sin. I am the other one half of Sisters Talk TV. Welcome to our live. This is going to be just kind of like a review session of Real Housewives tonight's episode. So, yeah, we're going to be talking all about it.
Yeah, so exactly. So I'm really excited about that. Again, so we are just really excited. Instead of just giving you guys a 1 or day 2 after review, we're just gonna go ahead and do this right now and just get it over with. And again, just to see how this goes. And yeah, and if you want to rewind or go over it, if you're not on live right now, that is also cool as well. So let's get started. All right, so this is a long-awaited review, of course. Of course, last week we didn't get this episode, so we have this episode. So the first scene, of course, goes into Kenya and Cynthia both meet, and they're at a yoga, and Cynthia's kind of letting Kenya know that just kind of about her marriage, kind of getting her marriage, like the date, getting that set, and she's kind of like in a dilemma, and basically Kenya's letting her know, like, hey, like, that should not matter, basically, like, if you want to marry him, go ahead and marry him. It shouldn't be an issue that, or when the wedding is, or as far as like what Cynthia is more concerned about, Kenya's like, no, that's not an issue. Like, if you want to marry this man, marry this man. Don't worry about none of that. So, Sid, what did you think about this? What did you think about this particular scene that Kenya was basically letting Cynthia know, like, basically, why does this matter that you want to, do this?
Yeah, so pretty much this is a scene with Mel, Kenya, and Cynthia. They're all doing yoga. You guys know that Kenya and Cynthia has complained about gaining the quarantine weight. I feel like all of us has kind of like struggled with that, especially being at home from COVID. So they're just trying to get back in shape. So they're doing their yoga. So Kenya and Mel, I would say that they're kind of like, in a way, they're kind of ganging up on Cynthia. They're kind of ganging up on her because Mike is ready to get married, but Cynthia wants like everything to be like perfect. Like she just wants it to be so perfect. She says she wants to be married 10-10, and she wants a lot of people there. She just wants like her marriage to be nice. And the ladies are like, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be like perfect, as long as you are married to the man of your dreams, then that is okay. That's like okay. Um, yeah, so and Kenya is just pretty much like really going in on Lucy and telling her, hold on just a second. Lucy, I think I'm hearing some just kind of echoing. Do you have everything shut down on your end, like all browsers and stuff?
Yeah, let me just check. So let me check something. Yeah, you still hear an echo?
Okay, it's I was just kind of hearing some background noise, but okay, it's fine now. So they're just right now, Cynthia and Melanie, they're pretty much just Kenya and Melanie are ganging up on Cynthia. They're just wanting her to, just go ahead and marry Mike. Like it doesn't have to be perfect. Pretty much.
And I mean, I don't think if they were ganging up on her, I think they were just letting Cynthia know that, if you want to, we see that you want to marry this man, so just go ahead and marry him. There's no, there's no back and forth or, trying to find ways to like make it seem like you don't want to marry. We know that you want to marry him, so just go ahead and do it. So I don't really think that, it's really ganging up. I just think that they're just want Cynthia to go ahead and make that move and make that decision because it just seems that that's just all she kind of like discusses. So I think they were just ready for her to make that move. All right, so we are in scene two. So scene two is basically Kenya and of course Candy. They're meet up at a restaurant. They're basically talking, and they're kind of, and then Kenya's kind of letting her know, hey, this is she met up with Cynthia, and she's basically letting her know that Cynthia is still basically the same thing, her marriage dilemma, like with Mike. And Candy's kind of like interjecting and saying, she's still doing this, and Kenya's like, yeah, like, you know I know she couldn't believe it. So this is also the scene where, Kenya also mentions Porsha and basically says, speaking of Porsha, has anyone spoke to Porsha? And then this is where the scene that she also makes that comment of, basically Porsha is basically doing the protest just for show, doing it for clout. And Candy basically responds to Kenya and lets her know that basically that's not what she thinks that she's doing. And, defends Porsha basically. She said whatever she's doing it for for the good cause. So I was really, I wasn't expecting nothing less from Candy. I was actually, I knew that Candy was going to really have that response because Candy is not that, like, as far as like petty like that. She definitely gives valuable responses, and I think that was really that moment that she really did let Kenya know, like, this is not the time for that. So, what did you think about that? Say, what did you think about that?
Yeah, so I think that Candy was really, I like that she was really in support of Portia because I know what the route what Kenya was trying to go, and Candy was like, I don't think you want to go on in this route and say what you need to say. So Candy just kind of shut it down before Kenya kind of, just kind of spills whatever she was going to say. Just say, you don't know. We never know what Kenya is gonna say. So I'm glad that Candy just kind of shut it down because she kind of knew like where Kenya was going, but she didn't want her to like say it. If that makes sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. That's why she shut it down real quick. And I wasn't expecting nothing. I was expecting that moment for Candy again to be petty or join Kenya in that type of conversation. I was definitely I knew that Candy was definitely going to shut it down. So, and she did. So yeah. So let's move on to the scene where Drew and Ralph, they're basically expecting their counselor, of course, to kind of discuss some of the issues that they've been having, marital issues that they've been having. And of course, they meet up with the counselor, and they're of course all masked down, but they're basically. I feel like I don't know why people wear the what is this? I totally
Like
forgot.
a clear kind of mask.
Yeah, it's the clear kind of mask, and I don't think it's as protective enough rather than a normal mask. I mean, I don't understand it because I mean you could still. I feel like it's not as sufficient as again wearing a normal mask. So I don't ever understand why they wear that. But anyways, of course they're tackling with the counselor, and the counselor basically asks them, "What do you both want from each other?" And Drew says that what she expects from Ralph is that she really expects Ralph to be, um, basically she says three things. she says she wants um I know she says she wants two, three things. She says she wants peace, she wants transparency from Ralph, and less anger and just more, basically more love for her oldest son, Josiah. And I don't know, when she said that, I was like, her oldest son, Josiah, but she says he's a great parent. He's definitely good with Josiah. I don't think Josiah is Ralph. So she said she, yeah, no, go.
Yes. So pretty much what she was saying is like Ralph is, well, Josiah is Ralph's bonus son. So she met, well, Josiah, he came to Josiah's life at like when he was like 3 years old. So pretty much he's like his bonus son. And so she likes the relationship, but she feels that Ralph gives Josiah tough love, and she wants Ralph to give Josiah more genuine love. Now, I would say like genuine may not be the right word. Maybe she just like misspoke. I don't feel like genuine may not be the right word to like use because like this is your husband, and of course he's gonna give your son genuine love. I think that maybe just like she doesn't want Ralph to give Josiah like the tough loving, just be maybe more interpersonal with him.
Yeah, I agree too. I agree. I think she definitely, that wasn't the right word, the right term to use at that moment. But
Yeah, because I was kind of looking, I was like, genuine, because I was like, what? Because I was thinking maybe it's like she was talking about her like son per se, like from her side, she wants to give her son genuine love. I'm like, wouldn't you already want to give your son genuine love? But I guess she's talking from Ralph's side. So which makes sense. Which makes sense.
yeah, that's yeah, yeah, definitely true. And I know she mentions transparency. Again, that has always been a thing with her regarding Ralph, is for him to be very transparent. So again, she's been very adamant about that. Now this one regarding her son Josiah is just definitely new. So I don't know. I just feel like with Drew and Ralph, I just feel like they're, I don't know. I don't want to say this is just a storyline, but because it just seems like with her discussing about her son, about she feels like she wants Ralph to show more genuine love to Josiah. I just feel like, is there more to it? Like, is I don't understand. She says he's a great father, but then she's making it like something that it's not. She's trying to. It's just like she's trying to dig up something just for, I don't know. I don't want to say just for a storyline, because again, it to me, it's just out of nowhere, something that she just brought out of the limelight. I don't know. I guess that's just for me. I just thought that
Yeah,
was really awkward.
yeah. Um, so I think that um it may just kind of be like where how Ralph is raised. Yeah, it may just be kind of like, like how Ralph is raised. And also it could possibly be because he was raised from like like he had a kind of like a hard knock life. I don't know how Drew's background is, but he might have had like more of like tough love from his parents, and he might not have had like that, that like maybe parents that tell their kids, I
Telltale.
love you. Or, yeah, like Leah, like tell their kids, I love you, or more affectionate. So maybe he doesn't show that affectionate. Maybe he just wants to teach Josiah, Josiah, Drew's son, like, be tough. And it's like, I don't know, like it's not always good, I guess, for little like young boys to always like, show them like, just love them, show them tough love. And I mean, it could be good and it can also be bad, but it's, there has to be a balance.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So again, then this brings to the, because then the counselor also asks Ralph, what does he want also expect from Drew? And he says he wants less. I believe he says less. basically he doesn't want her to treat like the way that the mom treats the dad. So less masculine for her to be less to be treated not like how Drew's mother treats the father. So less masculine, I believe. And then he also says he wants more intimacy. So basically, he also said he just wants respect, basically more respect from Drew. And it's for me. It seems like Ralph, like again, you mentioned like he didn't come from that kind of life. You know how Drew was brought up. It seemed like Drew was definitely brought up very sheltered. You can see her, like, her mom is still very active in her life. Seems like they have a great relationship. So he just feels like he does not want to maybe go down that same road. Because again, maybe the way he grew up is definitely different from the way Drew grew up. So I think it was interesting that he pinpointed that out. And I think that this definitely, I feel like this counseling section basically gave them, because there was a point that Drew said something and the counselor said, what are you right at this moment, because she was crying, and she was like, so what are you going to do now? And he, because she was crying, so basically, what was he going to do? Because at that moment he kind of sat there, and then he was like, okay, Ralph, like, what are you supposed to do? You know what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to show your wife, some sort of affection because she's crying. So it's just, to me, I don't. Again, how my thing about the storyline. I don't know. I just feel like this is what they're currently doing, because it just seems like it was too scripted. I don't know, because it doesn't seem like this is something they do on a normal basis, like their relationship. It seems like they're more close. So this thing is, for me, was a scripted moment. Yeah. So, do you have any thoughts on this scene?
Okay, so I think that okay, when I was watching the show, like kind of like their interaction, it was kind of like a little I, it was a little weird at first, but I think that what they're showing is just different. I think it's in a way, yes, it may be a lot, but I think that's just like I think it's genuine. The reason why I feel that it's genuine because there's so much emotion there. Drew is crying, like there's a lot of like emotion there. I feel like they may be going like what they're showing here is like half of what is actually going on. I don't even think they're even showing us like everything or going into detail. I feel like there's more to it because the reason why it's not making sense is because I feel like there's maybe more to what they're actually showing, and they probably just don't want to go into too much detail, which is understandable, you know. Definitely understandable, but I feel like there's definitely more going to it because she's showing a lot of emotion, but it could also be because Drew isn't. She's a really good actress, you know. Drew's a great actress, because Drew is an actress, so yeah. So she knows how to turn it on and turn it off. So
Exactly, and that's kind of like where my point is, because I feel, yeah, there was emotions there, but I just felt like the emotion when she started crying, I just felt like it was not genuine, because there's been scene where they're basically like you basically acting like nothing like nothing happened, and then there's scenes where Drew is overly emotional and Ralph is just keeping his cool, and it's just, I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it there as uh, it's like they're playing. It's like too scripted for me, so I'm gonna leave it
yeah,
at.
Drew is a professional actress. You know, she's been on plenty of movies, shows, the games. So so she knows what sells. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, do you like them on the show? Do you think they're a good addition, or like what are your thoughts so far with them?
I feel like, I think I like Drew. I feel like she does have a lot to bring, but I feel like jumping, like, because when the new episode started, I feel like just jumped into a relationship with Ralph. And we haven't really seen a lot with Drew and the ladies. It's just been with Drew and Ralph consistently. So I think I want to see more with Drew with the ladies. Then, we could also, go into Drew's personal life. But right now I just feel like the whole Drew's relationship is basically what's taken over. I haven't really seen much of her again with the ladies, except for that. I believe it was that one episode. So that's how I feel like it's like she came in and she was already having a relationship issue with her husband. So I don't know. Again, I'm just gonna keep that there. And yeah, we're just gonna move on to the next scene. And this next scene is kind of quite interesting. Again, it's the scene where Portia's sisters Lauren calls the ladies, and she calls both Cynthia and Candy, and she's letting them know that they're invited. They're having a party for Porsha in regards to all the stuff that's been happening with her protesting, and they just kind of want to show her appreciation and kind of their gratitude of what she's doing, just congratulating her. And Cynthia's very happy, that they're doing this for her. And, Lauren is like telling her, yeah, you're one of my favorites. So I'm definitely, extending that invitation along. And this is also where she calls Candy as well. And Candy is with Marlo and I believe Latoya.
Oh, hold on, Lucy. Are you using headphones?
I'm not using headphones, no.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It's like I'm hearing static. I'm not sure.
Um,
Okay, good.
I, oh,
Maybe connection.
Yeah, it's probably. Yeah, you know how this sometimes stream when you're on live, sometimes it has its faults. But yeah, so both Candy's with both Marlo and Latoya, and Lauren calls Candy and let her know that she's inviting her again to Portia's to the party, and Candy lets her know that she's also here with Latoya and Marlo, and she also extends the invitation to them as well. And she said, as long as I'm pretty sure they'll be cool as well. Basically saying that since they hang out with Candy, they'll be cool as well. So yeah, and back to Cynthia. Cynthia, I believe she calls Kenya, and no, she tells Lauren that can she also have an extra? She invite an extra person, and Lauren does tell her. I guess she tells her Kenya, and she says she was kind of like a little iffy about it, but then she was like, as long as there's not, she doesn't come with any mess, she doesn't come in with any drama, then she's okay to bring her. So, Cynthia calls Kenya and, lets her know that, Porsha, they're having a party for Porsha, and, she's bringing her along, and, Kenya's really excited about this. And she's like, she has a present for little PJ, and she thinks it's a great thing that they're doing for Porsha, and, she's definitely down for the cause. So now this is a scene where I'm just kind of like a little confused with Kenya, because again, wasn't Kenya the one that was just talking about Porsha, what Porsha was doing?
Yeah, no. Okay, so yeah, she really was the one that would talk about what Portia was doing. I think she was just pretty much just mad because she's not going to be on the scene, and she feels like they may be icing her out.
Like to Porsha's party, right?
Yeah, so she feels like 'cause she's not going to be on a scene, so that's why she's getting really upset because oh my gosh, like they're not inviting me to stuff. What if Portia doesn't invite me? So that's why she's getting upset because she feels like maybe they're just not filming with me anymore and stuff. So or maybe they don't want to film with me anymore. So she's kind of getting like she's becoming nervous. Like oh my gosh, are they really trying to ice me out?
Well,
That's why she asked the producers
well,
did you guys know about this? And she
well,
was really upset.
no. I was saying, okay, so yeah, but I was saying when Cynthia calls Porsha, no, when Cynthia calls Kenya and lets her know that she's inviting her, she's gonna be the extra person that she's inviting to Portia's party. Because again, Lauren didn't call Kenya. It was she called Cynthia, and Cynthia is extending that invitation to Kenya, and Kenya's basically letting Cynthia know, "Hey, I'm so excited about this. I'm excited to go." But again, she was just talking about Porsha, so like about what she was doing, like about her protesting and stuff. So I thought it was interesting that she was, yeah, as long as it's for a good cause, I'm down for it. So at that moment, I was just like, but you were just talking really, you just made a nasty comment about her not too long ago. So why is it now that this is a good cause?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's getting nervous because she's not invited to the party. She feels that they're not, because okay, so how it works is, okay, so if the ladies stop inviting you to stuff and they don't want to film with you, they're pretty much icing you out. And that's kind of like how you get kicked out of the show. That's kind of what they did to Monique from Real Housewives of Potomac. They wanted to ice her out and kick her out. So if no one wants to film with you and stuff, like the main group, they don't want to film with you, then you get kicked out of the show. Or not you get kicked out, but you just stop filming. You don't have a lot of scenes and all that kind of stuff. So Kenya's getting nervous because she's not invited. They don't want to invite her. They don't want to be. They think that she ruins people's like surprises. Like she did to Cynthia. So they just don't want Kenya there. So she's getting nervous, like, oh my gosh, are they trying to ice me out? So that's why she's trying to retract her statement.
Yeah, you added that was actually a good point. Exactly. But I mean, it's Lauren extending the party though, so it's Lauren, host doing the party. So I'm like, Lauren doesn't really have. If they're icing her out, it's not the main cast members who's icing her out. It's Lauren. So I feel like Lauren is just basically Portia's sister. She's not really one of the she's not really the main cast. The main cast. So I don't know how that is. I mean, it is an event and she's not invited, but still, I just feel like it's.
Well, Lauren is an extension of Port. Well, I mean, I guess like she kind of like she knows Portia, that's her sister. So I feel like in a way she kind of is an extension of her sister. So she knows what's best for her sister. She knows who her sister doesn't want, what to make her sister feel comfortable. So I'm pretty sure. And also, like, let's be honest, like Portia is really that girl this season. Like, let's be honest, like everyone wants to film with Portia. Yeah, Tanya, like she is really like that girl. If we're being honest, like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I do agree. I do think that Kenya. I mean, who can blame Lauren for not extending that invitation and basically telling her she's not invited? Because I mean, we know Kenya. Kenya has done this several. They did rewind. What Kenya has done in the past, like ruining things for some of the girls, some of the ladies. So again, who wouldn't be nervous about it, about inviting her? So again, that was Lauren's decision. So again, Kenya calls Candy and lets her know that Lauren didn't, is not inviting her to the party. And again, Candy agrees. Is like, well, you do kind of, ruin a lot of things for people. So that's probably why, Lauren is not extending that invitation to you anymore. So yeah, because Lauren probably thought about it and was like, you know, you may do something outrageous and we're not having that because this is a significant moment. And it's funny because Kenya also says that she's bringing like what is it, dolls for PJ because it was PJ's birthday. So she's bringing presents for PJ and she just feels really bad, like And I'm
Yeah,
just like, Kenya,
and
please.
I'm kind of okay. I'm okay. I guess if we're going scene by scene. So after this, okay. So she invited Lauren. So Laura invited Cynthia and Candy, but she retracts her invite
Yeah.
and she doesn't, she says she doesn't want Kenya there. Okay, I'm kind of glad, like, just when we get to the scene as we go on, I'm kind of glad Kenya wasn't there because we don't know what she's gonna say, like something ridiculous that she's gonna say because she already said, why is Porsha always going to jail? So
Exactly.
it's like we don't know. So I think that no, you can't be mad at Lauren for what she did. Like we can't
Exactly.
be upset with her.
And Kenya can be mad at her because Kenya, I mean, Lauren is the why. Lauren's basically Portia's protector. Like she knows what. Again, you said it right. She knows what's best for her sister. So at this moment, not having Kenya there is what's best for her sister. So I think that Kenya just needs to respect that.
Exactly. So she can't really be upset. Okay. So then the next thing that we have, the next thing that we have was who was the next thing that was after this thing?
This was the one where it's Drew's father. They found out that Ralph's father passed away from a heart attack, and they're heading to North Carolina. Yeah, so basically Drew and Ralph are packing to go to North Carolina, and Drew kind of says that this is kind of like a reflection of their relationship, especially now that this has happened to Ralph's father, because Ralph said that him and his father was basically very close when he was growing up. So it was just kind of like sad to kind of this happened, and she says it's kind of bringing their relationship together. And yeah, you know how I feel about Drew and Ralph. So at this moment, I'm just like, so it took this for you guys to get. I mean, I understand, that emotion and that sense of, I have to be, this is a very tremendous, a very like a moment where I feel like I need to be here, be present for him. But again, I'm just like, so is it this moment where you feel like your relationship is coming closer? Or is this come
I
on?
guess what Drew was saying, she was pretty much saying like they want to put their relationship in the like whatever they're going through, the trouble that they're going through in their relationship, they want to put it in the back burner. Like they don't want to just come because right now it's kind of like they just need to be more closer. She feels like she wants to be, there for Ralph during this really hard time, with his dad passing away. So she just wants to be there for him.
Yeah, I get it. But then she also says that, I feel like this is bringing our relationship closer. Um, and I'm like, well, I feel like there's still more that, I mean, you guys are going to get past through this, and there's still going to be more to come. So again,
Yeah, I just feel like they just need to go through more of those counseling sessions. And I
yes.
think the counselor was doing a really good job. The therapist, I don't know if she was, yeah, the therapist, she was doing a really, really good job, really trying to get Ralph to be a little bit more vulnerable. So they may need to see her a couple more times. Because I
Yes,
feel like she was
I
doing a really
agree.
good job.
I agree. I really do agree. I think that she definitely was doing a good job. And I mean, it was their counselor session, so the therapist, their counseling session. So yeah. So I mean, I'm definitely. I mean, it's so sad. My condolences to Ralph, Drew, and Ralph. A very sad situation who has to lose a loved one. So our condolences to them. Hope everything is going well, and we wish them the best. So the next scene, Sin, did you? Let me see.
Yeah, so I believe the next scene after this was okay. So we get like a kind of a car scene. Maybe this was probably earlier. So we get a car scene with Tanya and Marla. Well,
Porsha, she picks
Tanya
up.
and Portia, and then they pick up Marlo. I really like this scene. I think that like this was like just so positive. I don't know, like this is just like a funny scene. Marlo's still calling Portia King, Portia Luther King. And of course we get, Marlo tells us that, she is I think that she is a she's the guardian now of like her nephews, so she's like putting them through school. So she's like kind of like right now like on parent duty, you know. Um, so she has her phone. So Marvel's really on it. So she is like raising her nephews and her nieces. So she's telling us all about that. And, Portia's telling the ladies about, her being like protesting and her going to jail and the kind of food that she had when she was in jail. And it was just really funny. It was like they were just having a really good time. And they also talk about Dennis as well, too. So we learned that Portia and Dennis are no longer together, but he's trying to get Portia back in his life. He's buying her all
He's
kinds of
sending her
Chanel.
exactly. She calls it like because they're co-parents. She calls it co-parenting gift or something like that. And I feel like, and you did. I do agree with you. That scene where Tanya picks up Portia, it made Portia feel really special. She's like, oh, like it was a very positive, delightful scene to like actually, look at, because I feel like it brings out the most positive out of all the, just the women,
It
their
gives
friendship.
housewives vibes, like
Yeah.
group of ladies all
And we
going
have not
together, like
seen that in a
rich.
long time.
Yeah, like you have these rich friend group, and I feel like they were actually a friend group. You have Marlo, you have Tanya. They were a friend group. You have these rich ladies, women, hanging out, just living their luxurious lifestyle, and just kind of talking about what's going on in their lives, not what's going on in other castmates' lives. I guess that's part of the show too. But it was good to see. And, they were really giving Portia really good advice, like don't get carried away by the gifts. Marlo feels that Portia may just get back. She doesn't believe like they're actually officially broken up. Do you think that they're broken up, like officially?
I don't think so, because again, currently, um, I feel like they're still together. I mean, they've took some holiday pictures together, and it could be that they're co-parenting, or they're trying to build that relationship where Pilar can definitely see the positive, with both parent, like a positive upbringing. So it could be that, or it could be that they're pretty much still together. But I know in Portia, I think for sure they're definitely together.
Yeah, I don't. I feel that she may not be 100% like has. She's not 100% over Dennis.
Dennis, I don't think
Yeah.
so either. I think that Dennis played a significant role in her life, especially because he did go through. I mean, he's a father of Pilar. He went through. What is this with her? He went through. He was there with her at the protest. I think he was also.
During the protest,
Yeah,
exactly.
so he was definitely there with her. So I think that plays definitely a significant. This is a monumental moment for both of them. Something that they can definitely reflect on and say. And this is something she could also let Pilar know. When Pilar's growing up, when Pilar grows up and say, your daddy and I were both. We were both civil rights active. Civil rights activists. We advocated for you know the Black Lives Matter, and all that, like all that good stuff. So yeah, I think that again, they have a lot of things that they share in common. I think it's definitely going to be a little it's not going to be easy for them to have their relationship, like their relationship to go rocky or go on the opposite direction. So yeah, I think it's going to take some work. So, but I think they're pretty much still together, but maybe not 100%, but they're definitely some
Yeah,
interaction with.
I'm I'm not all the way sold for what Portia is saying. I'm kind of like a little bit sided with Marlo in a bit because I just feel that with because we've seen it on social media, Dennis and Portia, they were really out there, really
Yeah,
protesting. So I'm kind of like, I'm agreeing with Marlo. Sorry, Portia. Like, I'm kind of rocking with Marlo on this one.
I agree. I definitely agree. I think that again, based on the since Portia's been on this show, Yeah. All right. So we move to the scene where the part, I believe it's Portia's party, correct?
Yeah, I think this is
Yeah.
like Portia's party. Some things may have happened. We probably got some conversation from Cynthia, which it was not a lot, but yeah, we just think it was like Portia's party.
Yeah. So the ladies are all with the theme is black. So all the ladies are wearing black. Um, and now so the ladies all come in again wearing all black, and everyone looks really nice. And this is a scene where we also see Fallon. Latoya is there now. Sin, do you want like there was an exchange between Fallon and Latoya?
Yeah, Latoya. So what I was saying is I think that Latoya definitely she's a YouTuber, so she's really big onto social media. So she knows the ladies. She studied the show. So I feel that she definitely did her research before meeting the ladies. So I think that she definitely did her research with Fallon. So it was so weird how she said, "Oh, he's older." Her husband's older. So I'm just like, did you like kind of already just maybe looked at her Instagram to know that she's married to an older man. And also Fallon comes from like her husband, they have a blended family. So I think altogether, I want to say, did she say they have 8 kids altogether?
I know she said they had it was a specific number that she did say.
Yeah, I definitely think she definitely mentioned that they are a blended family. So that kind of exchange between Latoya and Fallon, that's kind of a little awkward because it's like you kind of already know. But she, of course, she can't say it like, oh, I know that she can't say that on camera. But I feel like she definitely did her research.
I think so too. I think that a lot, like you did mention this before, and that's why I did bring you up to this. Again, Latoya is a YouTuber and she studied. I feel like she has done her homework on the ladies, and based on the stuff that she's been saying, and based on how she's going about some of the things and some of the ladies, yes, definitely it feels like she. I feel like she knows more than just being a friend of the show, like someone that they just brought about. So it doesn't really make any justice of anything because I feel like it seems like she knows basically everything. So there's really nothing much that could be anonymous or anything, or for her to, um, take on because she already knows. She's already studied everyone. So
Yeah, and do you think it's like authentic that she I don't know. Do you think it's like authentic that she kind of already like studied everyone before coming in? Because to me, it provides like a false kind of like narrative or like her initial reaction, not like a realistic reaction.
yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's why I don't really have much to say because I feel like she studied the lady, so her reactions are definitely going to be thought through. Are definitely she already knows how she's going to approach the ladies or approach the situation that comes along. It's already thought through. So it's like it's not natural, it's not authentic. So it's like we're not really there's not really much action to go about or much, anticipation when it comes to her. So yeah, that's what I think. I don't know. I think that it's not really. She's a YouTuber, so again, she knows a lot of the ladies. She knows some of their stories. So yeah,
That's true.
yeah. So moving on, I believe this is the roundup of the.
So yeah, so pretty much we get Portia. She's coming in. She's really surprised. She's surprised to see. Well, it's kind of a surprise. Well, she doesn't know that the ladies are coming. There's going to be a party. So all the ladies were instructed via Lauren to like wear black. So Portia's coming in. She feels like, maybe she's just coming in for maybe like dinner or so. So she's surprised to see all the ladies. They have all her pictures, especially her protest pictures. And also they have her picture with her grandfather. We all know Portia's grandfather was an activist, a civil rights activist, along with Dr. Martin Luther King. So we know we all have, all those pictures are in displayed, and she's crying, she's getting really, really emotional, and she's thanking all the ladies. Thank you guys. Like this really makes me happy, and she's really like appreciative of the ladies all coming together and really supporting her cause, like the cause that what she's doing, especially the whole Breonna Taylor situation.
Yeah, I definitely think this is a moment where this is Portia's moment. Portia deserves this moment. And I feel like not just Porsha, but the ladies, they've and again, Portia's one of the biggest stars on this season, because I feel like she never really had a chance to be that's that particular star, or I would say that, how do I say this? Like, besides all the ladies, like Portia never really had her moment, you know, at least to shine bright, or at least to be recognized for, the things that she's been doing. And this is not just any other event. This is a significant moment. Like, this is a history, and that she was involved in. So I think it was definitely a nice idea for Lauren to definitely put this together. I think that Portia definitely deserved it.
Mhm.
And
I
then
think
we need a Kenya Moore. We definitely did not need a Kenya Moore to, put
ruined this moment
ruin this
for
moment.
Portia.
And I know
Like,
that she said that she wasn't going to, but we can't put nothing past Kenya when it comes to things like this. Because she could make a comment and say, Portia, how, she could make, how Kenya is. She may say
ex-
something, it may come out offensive. So
exactly. And this moment was already like really positive, really good. And it's just like, I mean, not everything. Yeah, it's funny. Some like some of the shades are like funny, but let sometimes let people just have their moment. Like and also, I think this is really good. Definitely a good outlook for Portia, because I feel like a lot of people tend tends to suppress her because of the of course we know the Underground Railroad comment that she made, and also her being like fighting like in the reunion when she pulled Kenya's hair and all that kind of stuff, and people tend to like hold that like above her, like, well, hold that, that image of Portia, like she's rowdy, she's violent, and all this kind of stuff. Like people tend to like hold that against her, and it's like a way of suppressing Portia because of they just want to put her in that bubble as being like a violent person. So this is definitely a good outlook to kind of show like positivity, especially the Portia's like character, her narrative, and it's really good that she was able to like show us this and she's having this moment. And I think like this is like an evolution. We always want to see people grow on Housewives, and we're seeing that from Portia. We're seeing her grow, and some people just want to continue to suppress her, and that's not good. Like we want to see Nene grow, like we also want to see Kenya grow. We've seen the evolution of Candy. We've also seen the evolution of Cynthia, her finding love. So this is what we want to see. And of course, like Cynthia, she's always, when she found her Mr. Hill, like she's always been like this kind of like sucker for love. And we always just want to see that. We want to see people grow. We saw Candy, she's grown within her business. So that's all we want. And I guess right now it's Portia's turn. And we just need to let her have that.
exactly, I couldn't agree anymore. Yeah, it's definitely her moment. That's what I was saying. It's we haven't really. I feel like this is her moment, so we don't really need anyone distracting or stealing her moment. So Kenya, stay where you are at. Unfortunately, this was not the time for it. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely when we talk about Mark Daly, well, Kenya, you'll be, um, be your moment. But let people have their moments. Okay, Kenya, I'm sorry that you didn't get invited to to the little party, but it's okay. There's you'll definitely have your moment.
Exactly. And I wonder if Kenya is going to feel some way about this, like as episodes to come, that she wasn't invited to this.
Oh, Kenya's gonna hold a vendetta against Lauren and Porsha. She's not letting this go. We know Kenya. We know that she's not letting it go until it's resolved.
Exactly. And it's like, how is it? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, I know it's kind of late. We just kind of wanted to do this video. Just go live, just kind of talk about it. Yeah. So, if anybody wants to chime in, let us know. If not, we can go ahead and end the
in
live.
in the
Uh,
live, yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah, I mean, it was
yeah.
definitely this. I think that this episode was definitely a good one. I think this was one of the best ones so far that I've seen.
Yeah.
Started. I think this is one of the best episodes. So hopefully, we'll see if the ratings go up, if the ratings are better than the past ones. So yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end this, and then also check us out on Instagram at TV. We'll be posting again all of the updates. And we'll be sure to also post. Let's say if the ratings come out, we'll be sure to post that as well, and keep you guys updated. And also follow us on Twitter again at Sisters Talk TV. All right. So again, we're gonna go ahead and end this. We do appreciate you all for joining us, and hope to see you guys in our next live. All right. So yeah. So do you have any last words to say?
No, that is about it. I'm just going to go ahead and put all of our social media accounts here and also our email. If you want to send us an email, you can go ahead and do that. But like I said, please be sure to like and subscribe. Make
And
sure you are
comment.
subscribing. And also comment. Let us know what you think so far. Are we doing a good job? Let us know. It really
Exactly.
helps us out, guys. It really, really helps us out, especially with our algorithm and stuff here on YouTube. So just please continue to like and subscribe, show your support. We really appreciate that.
Yeah. That's true, guys. Thank you again so much, and then we hope to see you guys again on our next live.
All right, guys. Thank you. Peace, love, and blessings.